Dan, what a great result here for your side today, and a big 3 points on the table. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, really pleased with the 3 points. Pleased with the performance. I thought we started the game really well. I thought the first half was strong. I thought it was a little blip in the middle of it, but to be fair to the girls, they sort of got hold of the game again and finished the half strongly. So yeah, first half was good. Second half was just really difficult. Obviously, loads of stoppages today. So they've had two quite big injuries as well. So I hope that both of them are all right. But yeah, I think that disrupted the game a lot, and it just felt quite stodgy in the second half, didn't it, of all those stoppages, which I don't think helped our rhythm. But yeah, massive credit to the girls to keep the focus in those periods, and when it was stop-starting, we were able to, keep our focus and obviously go on and win the game quite comfortably.
So as you mentioned in the first half, there were some good chances from both sides, but your team took the edge there and managed to go into the break 1-0 up. How pleased were you entering half-time with the lead?
Yeah, really pleased. I thought, over the first two-thirds of the pitch, I thought we were excellent, and for the players at the back today were brilliant on the ball, and did exactly what we wanted and asked and needed of them. Beck, Shy, Ari and Haley, I thought were super. T with some fantastic passes as well. So I thought coming out and building through, we were excellent. I thought quality in the final third was a little bit lacking in that first half, and we had 4 or 5 entries into the box that I felt we should have created more from, and obviously probably another 3 or 4 chances that we should have buried as well. So probably should have been 2 or 3 at half time, being honest. So that always left the game still on the table, and obviously they come out and equalise from the corner, which again is really disappointing for us. It's 2 weeks in a row now that we've conceded from those set pieces, and we just need people to take a little bit more responsibility in those moments. Because other than that, it was a pretty sort of faultless performance from us.
As you mentioned, though, unfortunately there were times in the game when the game had to be, briefly paused to deal with the players. But how important was it for your players to not lose focus in those moments, then to kick straight back into the game when it resumed? Yeah,
huge. Like I sort of touched on there, I was really pleased with that element of them today, because it definitely, just when we were building up a little bit of momentum, there was a couple of fairly long stoppages for good reason. But they were able to get back into the game pretty quickly, and I really liked how fast we were on the restarts today. Getting the ball back into play, and when there were stoppages, we weren't hanging around. We were getting going as soon as the game was back on, which was good. And yeah, ultimately, I feel like we've got what we deserved today. I felt comfortable for the majority of the game. There was a brief spell in the first half maybe where we lost a little bit of control, but for most of it, it was a pretty. I felt we were in control for the afternoon, and we just got to be more clinical in front of goal. That's the big thing that we're missing at the moment. We're creating loads of chances, really good chances. Did the same at Norwich. They created some fantastic chances, and we don't take them. And other teams are. I don't know. Did T make a save today? I'm not sure. Maybe one actually. She tipped over at the top. But other than that, the only other chance that they've had, they've put in the back of the net, and that's frustrating for us. And even more so when we're not taking our chances at the other end.
So in the second half as well, great to see the team, finished off the game quite comfortably. As you mentioned, it'd been nice to see a few more goals given the chances they have. But how pleased were you, with players like Sandy getting a hat-trick, Shamoy and Sammy coming on getting an assist, same as Shamoy. Can you pick out some stars for yourself today?
I thought the subs made great impacts today. I was really, really pleased with them. When they came into the game, and I think they elevated us and gave us a little bit what we needed. All of them, even Ryan and Sophie coming into the game later on, I think brought Ryan a little bit of experience and a little bit of calmness. I felt we were getting a little bit disjointed at the back, which creates little opportunities on the transition. But yeah, I thought all of the players when they came onto the pitch today had a positive impact on what we were doing. Yeah, pleased with Sandy. I thought she worked hard today. She's trained fantastically this week. She's been electric in training, so it was good to see that translate. But yeah, even so, the reality is they've had 2 keepers injured today, which is just so unlucky for them. And obviously finishing the game with an outfielder in goal, I'd expect us to go and score a couple in the latter stages just because of that. And fair play to her, to be fair, she's made 2 unbelievable saves. It's earlier on where we needed to be more clinical. So that first half we shouldn't have been going in at 1. It should have been 2 or 3. And then when we have other chances, to start the second, we have to be more clinical. on those opportunities in front of goals, but also when we get into good areas in the final third and make entries into the box, something has to come off the end of it, and that's what we've got to really sort of focus on over the last couple of games.
Just to touch on as well quickly, home debuts today for Rene and Jamie coming on for your side. How has it been for those two settling into the club, and how did you make of their performances when they came on?
Yeah, look, from our side, I think they've settled in really nicely. I think Ren's got a great personality, and obviously everyone's taken to her fantastically. And she had a great chance to score today. And again, that's she should have scored, in that position. But she's getting in all the right areas, and adapting to a very different way of playing. Same with Jamie. She came in first session, rolled her ankle with us, so it's been a little bit of a delayed start for her, but comes in today in a tricky moment for us. They were building a little bit of pressure for a couple of minutes, and just brought a bit of experience and a little bit of calm. Fantastic driving out with the ball and a couple of brilliant passes. Both of them have come in and made a really good impact.
Well, we've got a quick turnaround now as Thursday night you're heading off to face Actonians in the league. What are your thoughts now heading into that game?
It'll be a tough one. It's can be a difficult pitch. Obviously it's a Thursday night, which always poses other challenges as well. I feel that we've got a score to settle with them. They came here and beat us 2-1 earlier in the season, which was a real painful one for us. So Thursday it's just got to be about setting that record straight, and I think showing the team that we are, and the quality that we have. I think it's going to be important. But yeah, obviously after that, then straight into the Cambridge game on the Sunday, so it's a tough week for us. I think we've got 4 games in 12 days, so it's going to be a tough period. We're going to really rely on the squad, but the girls have worked fantastically hard for near on 10 months now, and it's just this last little hurdle that we've got to push through. But it's a crucial moment for us in the context of where we finished this season.
Dan, great result today, and thank you for your time.
Brilliant, cheers, Al. Thank you.